What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of the Neighborhood Podcast. Today we would discuss Light That Shit, Spark That Shit, one of my personal favorite tracks on the Neighborhood Rain mixtape.
I'd say it's probably the most, it's the track that I get the most feedback on in general.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
all good feedback, but everyone's like, holy shit, yo, like, that song's a bop.
Hell yeah. It's fucking so good. Mickey, did you make that beat with your friend, the producer?
No. That beat was old.
This was an old beat. This is
Light That Shit, Spark That Shit was an old beat.
Yeah, that was like one of the first beats I was making on the when I first got at FL Studio. And
That's how ill Mickey is, that we go through the fucking files, we find gems and make songs out of them.
I called it
Blueface.
Yeah, it was Blueface.
That's ill. Yeah.
Because Blueface was popping off at the time. So I figured I make something like that. So it's reminiscent of that.
Micken, if you remember correctly, when we first started making music in general, remember you had the beat, you made the Blueface beat, and I made that first track this is when we first started rapping before I stopped again. I made I'm the beast, straight from the streets of RP. You don't remember that?
Yeah, no, I remember.
That was on the Blueface beat.
Yeah.
So originally, before like I ever stopped rapping, I was gonna use that for that like a long time ago as a single, and then like I stopped rapping, and like that's what kind of made you think of the beat. Not like me writing to it, but you're like, yo, we never used this beat, and this beat is fucking dope.
I remember him saying that.
So you brought it back to us for Neighborhood Rain.
Oh yeah.
And then you came up with the hook. That shit was crazy. But
that's like one of my favorite parts, like doing like the collective tape together is like when we sit down and we got like all these beats and we got all these ideas, and it's actually like fucking ridiculous, like to think that like there are 21 tracks on the mixtape itself, and there were probably like 4 or 5 more songs that we could have done that we had ideas for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get into Light That Shit, Spark That Shit, though, I kind of want to tell the audience about like Neighborhood's Finest. Like I feel like we never really dove deep into like the previous shit you guys have put out before I came back, and then even the stuff we put out before the Neighborhood Rain. You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah. Let's start with Mickey, because Mickey had the most singles out last year.
That too, singles and all that.
Yeah.
And the EP was fucking fresh. One of my favorite things to listen to is Orange Sunshine. I probably said this on the podcast before, but I fucking listen to it all the time.
Yeah. That was fun to make.
It's very experimental for you.
Oh yeah.
That's Thrills, right?
Yeah, Thrills. It was like a 5 or 6 tracks on there, and it was just basically I was just showing off like what I can do at that time, and prior to that I put out like I think it was like 3 or 4 singles prior to that.
That's like the fucking craziest part about you is that you can sing, you can rap, you can play the guitar, you can play the piano, you can play all these fucking instruments. Or, like, you could figure out ways to, like, do them electronically. Or, like, there was this one time I remember you bought a microphone and you were like, yo, you could beatbox into this now. Because I couldn't produce at the time. Me and Mickey would make, like, beats and stuff. Or, like, Mickey would start making a beat and I'd be like, yeah, do that. But now make it higher. I go, doom, doom, doom. And he'd be like, what the fuck are you like this? Like, doom, doom. And I'd be like, yeah, like that.
Yeah, because you didn't know, like, the proper...
I have
of music, like
I have no knowledge
theory,
as far as music theory,
but
composing.
You just know good sounds.
I just know sound. That's like I really only know what I can rap on. I don't know I couldn't make a beat for Beyonce. I couldn't make I couldn't compose a song for Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe one day.
Maybe someday. We'll see. I just want to be an MC, but
Yeah,
I know that's your niche. Mickey's definitely the most talented probably just in general because of how skilled he is at all these different things. He can rap, sing, make the beats.
My bad. Can we close the door? I'm fucking freezing.
Yeah. Okay. You
want
to do it real quick?
Yeah, I'll do it real quick.
All right. We won't cut this out. You guys will have to fucking deal with it. All right?
Holy shit, it's motherfucking freezing out here.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna tell Micken to close that door before, but he forgot. But it's all good.
It's all
I forgot.
My
I
bad,
meant-
guys. I'm
I
sorry
meant-
to
I forgot.
interrupt.
No, it's fine.
I was motherfucking freezing over here.
But yeah, get back into your EP, Micken, and just like your music in general, or
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with that, like I was messing around with like some like lo-fi indie rock, and I had sort of this kind of like trap reminiscent pop song like at the end, but yeah, it was just like just messing around. There wasn't really
I'm just
like
having
some
fun.
sort of motive behind it. It was just like I wanted to put out I wanted to put out like like just like a smaller release.
Right.
Nothing like crazy with all like
Well, because at the time that you were doing Thrills, we were also trying to do Neighborhood's Finest.
yeah, there was that too. So I was also
We had a lot of things, like a lot of goals that we had set early on for ourselves as well as the group. And, you know, we just put our head down and went to fucking work and look at all the fucking shit we've accomplished so far.
yeah, you're showcasing all your other skills too.
Yeah.
With that, I feel like.
Yeah, and then I always try to the problem with me is like I want to do like so much more like different shit, but it's just like it's tough because like people like they want to put you in just like
A box
this is-
creatively.
yeah, it's just like, oh, you make this, that's why
Yeah.
I like you.
Yeah, they
You rap, so you're a rapper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You sing, so you're a singer.
yeah. I don't.
You write songs, so you're a songwriter. I know exactly what you mean.
That's why I said I say on the song "Bustin'" on our mixtape. Don't put me in a box or fuck with my circle, because I know how much different shit we can do collectively and on our own
Right.
with our sound. That like, don't put us in a fucking box. Like we are lyrical hip hop, boom bap type of rappers, but there's so much more shit we can do.
And like, especially you guys, like I would say you guys are way more musically inclined than I am. I really only have an ear for hip hop. I only really have an ear for rap and lyricism, really. Like if you play me like something that just sounds good, most of the time I really don't think it sounds that great.
Yeah. You definitely.
I'm very picky.
You stick to what you kind of like. I definitely.
I venture out. I give everything a little taste.
But I'm saying at the end of the day, you end up liking what you like.
Right, exactly.
Me and Mickey do find these random people or
Bands.
these different genres of
Individuals.
music.
Hell
like
yeah.
Mickey actually posted this one girl on his TikTok one time when he was shouting out other like underground artists, and I see she's actually getting some pop now. It's that girl Maz.
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
she's
she's awesome.
dope. I fucking love her music.
I think-
followed her immediately because I watched her TikTok, and I checked out a couple of them, and like there's like, oh yeah, these people are cool, and then once I clicked on hers, it was like, I'm following this girl. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's dope. But like that's like some music that you probably would never like listen. Like
Right.
Yeah.
you'd check it out, but you wouldn't like, I'm not putting this back on again.
Right. Speaking of TikTok, like I think the dopest girl on TikTok right now,
Oh, yo.
the dopest producer is this girl Aliana.
Dude, she's fucking dope.
She has the same MPC that I have, the retro one, and she knows how to do things on it that I have no idea how she I have no comprehension
Dude,
of it.
she's insane. When you showed me her, like I'll just play her beats and freestyle over them all day long.
Yeah, and I
In my
always
room.
want to. I'm just so awkward when it comes to like being in front of like the TikTok camera. It's hard for me. So like I'll fucking like come up with something pretty dope, and then when I'm on the camera, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, it just doesn't
Just-
feel natural for
Yeah,
you.
because I'm just like spitting, just going fucking nuts, just like.
Yeah, I tried to like venture out into making some new TikToks, but we also have talked about how we kind of want to find a new way to like grow our account, because we saw this one TikTok of this kid saying that the way he ended up gaining a bunch of followers was that he had to make like 7 different accounts and post the same
Right.
video on each one, and whatever one got the most pop. Because like the algorithm just picks. It's just weird how the algorithm works. But I think me and you specifically got to try that because
Yeah, because
it's
Mickey's
been so fucking
Mickey's
hard
very
to grow them.
consistent, very good at posting every day.
Yeah, we're also
times
not
a
the
day.
most consistent. I mean, it's fucking hard when you're working a normal fucking job. I mean, Mickey's working too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
Plus,
just more natural for
we
him.
put out a lot of music too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're just sitting on our hands all the time. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, we're definitely putting in work.
We got families, whatnot.
I wish we fucking.
Stuff to
I wish
do.
this was our only job, and then I would literally fucking. I'd make music like
yeah.
8 hours a day.
Go OD on
Content
it.
4 hours a day.
Maybe we should start selling crack, guys.
Yep, that's what the neighbor. That's what the Wu-Tang Clan did
Jesus
tell us
Christ.
to do. All we got from
Hove did.
the Hove did, the Wu-Tang Clan. We did
Oh
a
my
big
God.
a big joke.
That's my favorite David Chappelle.
A big joke we always said when watching the Wu-Tang show, because like it was very inspiring, and like we take a lot of inspiration from the Wu-Tang Clan as a whole. But I mean, a joke me and Ali kept saying, because we kept discussing how there's just not enough. We're like, there's not enough time in the day. Like we don't like we have to keep working our normal jobs, but do it while still making 5 hours of music. And then where's the time for the content at that
Yeah.
point? And
These
we're like,
guys got it all figured out. We should, if we just sell crack,
Yeah,
we'll be fine.
we just gotta start selling crack, and we'll
I
have
never
enough
sell
money.
crack,
Yeah, no, we're not selling crack for real. We're just cooking up this marvelous shit in the
Yeah,
fucking
no.
stew now.
We're fortunate enough to have other opportunities where we can make some legitimate earn.
Yeah, they had a rough time like finding any other legitimate
Yeah.
incomes in that time and that the area they were in. But shout out to them, man. They fucking made it
Oh yeah.
bigger than
of
ever,
course.
and now they're one of our biggest inspirations. But
The first independent, like real independent fucking label, if you ask me, is Wu-Tang Productions. You know what I mean?
hell yeah,
The first people to actually just be like, nah, this is how we're gonna do it. This is what we want to do. They're the only group ever to have as many members as they do, and they signed to all different labels solo, like by
Yeah.
themselves. But that's a whole different fucking topic for a
Yeah.
whole different fucking day.
get into Neighborhood's Finest. I feel like you guys haven't.
Well, Mickey
talked
also
about
has
that
to
yet.
talk about his other singles, because you also did other things besides the E EP.
Well, yeah, I had about like 4 singles prior to that, which were there was Next Time, I'll Be Fine. You had All Right
Right.
a few months later.
I love
then-
Next Time. That's another one that I have on my playlist as well.
Yeah, that song is dope.
And then they had Thrills, and it's like blurry for me. There was Right Now in like late September of last year. And then I think it was like January, I dropped My Mind Is Made. And then
Yes,
after
yes.
that, I got It's All in My Head.
But
And
that
then-
that was after Neighborhood's Finest. Now, you know what I'm saying? We're doing
Oh.
if we're doing it chronologically.
Oh, yeah. So,
So then September, after you dropped those couple of singles, we did the Neighborhood's Finest, which is a 16 track.
okay. Yeah.
And I was actually listening to it the other day. It came on my thing, and I was like, I'll just listen to this real quick and like see like how far it's really come. And it's come very far, but that mixtape, like that collection, whatever you want to call it, is still, in my eyes, very good.
Oh, yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
raw. It's super raw.
Yeah, I
I'm
wasn't.
fucking with it.
I wasn't on the mixtape. That was when I stopped rapping for a while. But
Right.
like, obviously, as soon as it dropped, I fucking listened to it and posted it. One of our only friends probably to post it,
Right.
but we won't get into that. But even then, like when things for me weren't working out, it was like I'm gonna fucking support these guys as much as I can. I started posting their stuff every
we
time.
always appreciated it.
And I never forgot to miss that. And I listened to that on the way to it was perfect. I had an hour car ride, so it was
Right.
like probably longer than an hour. But I was listening to the whole mixtape on the drive there, and I was like, this is fucking sick. I was like, there's a couple beats in here that I totally recognize, and then
Right.
a couple things you played me actually before it even came out that I was
Yeah.
like, I know this one. Shit's awesome.
When me and Mickey had like finally decided like we're gonna do this mixtape, like Mickey wanted a lot of things for it, and I wanted a lot of things for it. But it really didn't come together. It didn't really click. Like me and Mickey had made like what do you think, like 8 or 9 songs, and we still didn't even have a fucking name for it. We didn't even know what we were gonna call it.
Oh, yeah.
We had like What Do You Got, and Just Spittin' I had done, KMC, which is probably the best song I'll ever write, best thing I'll ever do.
That was a sick idea. I remember you making that idea when I was still around, but it wasn't like for the mixtape yet.
Right, like, for
Just
those
thought
of you
of
who
the
don't
idea.
know, Master Yoda KMC, KMC stands for the Kush Master of Ceremonies. That's because an MC is a master of ceremonies, and I am the Kush Master. That's what everybody calls me in the neighborhood. Everybody I know really calls me either the Kush Master, the Kush God, or Yoda. It's one of those three.
Anytime
so that's
someone
my actual
comes-
fucking name. You know what I'm saying? It's not some fucking name I gave myself.
Yeah, no, we've always called him Yoda. People have always tried to challenge him in Kush-offs, and he always ends up
Kush-offs.
winning. So
Smiting them.
he is the Kush Master.
I'm the Kush God.
But I mean, one day if we blow up, you're gonna have to see Snoop Dogg. I mean, he'll be pretty old. So
Snoop Dogg said that Willie Nelson is the only guy to ever outsmoke him, and he's white and he's about my size, so I might have a leg up.
You may
might have
the
a leg
lungs.
up.
You may have the lungs.
you might have a lung up.
I might have a lung up.
Hey, yo, just be grateful you got 2 lungs. We know a kid with not. Danny Guido.
But back to Neighborhood's Finest. Like me and Mickey had we were watching Rick and Morty. Actually, that's really what we were watching Rick and Morty, and I was like, "Yo, we should sample the intro." And I came home from work, and Mickey had the intro done, like the beat for the intro, and I was like, "For the first time ever together, we present to you the world's finest." And that was before I even came up with the neighborhood's finest. That became, well, if we're the world's finest, like we're from the neighborhood, we are the neighborhood's finest.
Yeah.
So that's what the mixtape became. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
then from there, we added 5 or 6-ish tracks. And we did a lot of redos because Mickey was fucking experimenting with a lot of different, like he was really learning how to mix and master at that point.
Yeah. Messing with the arrangements and shit.
Yeah. So we were experimenting a lot. We'd have to like KMC, like Mickey maybe had like 4 different versions of it. And I wrote a few different versions of it because the beats were the same but different. Mickey would add a new pop, or like he would add a new snare, or he'd add a new hi-hat. And it always was dope. It always worked out. I was always grateful and I liked it. But it made me a little uncomfortable because at the time I was still learning like the process of how to do everything.
Yeah.
It always came out dope though.
Mm-hmm.
As Mickey quoted on the last episode, fucking nightmare.
To quote the last episode as well, you guys remember the night that we had done the LSD, we came up with the name The Neighborhood Rain. Mickey was fucking around with his guitar, and we were I was freestyling. I don't think that you were, but I was freestyling.
I think I might have been.
You might have been chiming in. I don't really remember.
I remember I wrote some shit because I could. I have the pad right over there. No,
Right.
actually, it's at your house. The pad, but you could tell by the
But that's how-
handwriting that I was on some. I was on some hallucinogens.
Right. That's how Mickey. That's how we came up with Mickey's name, the Puppeteer.
Yeah.
Because Mickey was playing the guitar, and as fast as he was playing the guitar, I was keeping up with the rhythm with my words. It was crazy. So I called him the Puppeteer because I really couldn't do it at that time like that. I was just starting to write again, and I never really could freestyle. And the moral of the story that I'm trying to get to, long-winded, I'm sorry, guys, is we came up with 631, not 6, fuck with the funk. You can't fuck with the funk from 631 that night. That's like the first track we came up with actually for the Neighborhood's Finest mixtape. And of course, Worm had a hand in that.
Hell yeah.
Can't fuck with the funk.
Can't
That-
fuck with the funk from the 6 Street
That was
one.
that was a fun track to make.
Hell yeah. It sounded so good too when you put it together. Because for the most part on that entire mixtape, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't have any samples from Splice. You don't have any used samples. Those are all your instruments, except for the drums,
I think so.
bass, and guitar,
I think so. No, there's a few that
and
I
the
took.
synths.
There's a few that I took the Splice samples from.
Okay.
I think there was like 1 or 2, but yeah, for the majority, yeah, most of it.
That's
was
all
like
your
MIDI.
original music.
Was like MIDI. Keep Stomping was one where it was like
That's actually one of my
two.
favorite tracks that we have in our
Yeah.
catalog.
it was the
I listen to it a lot.
Neighborhood stomping.
Yeah, it was one of the two that I made on the Garage Band, and then we were like, we need this for the mixtape, and then
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like, just bounced it onto FL and then mixed
Me,
it on
me and
there.
Mickey actually like fucking spent so much time like sweating our ass off in the shed, writing songs,
Oh,
making
God.
beats, recording. Like
Ridiculous.
with a back then, looking back on it, like a limited amount of equipment. Like we made so many upgrades at this point that it's a little bit more mainstreamed our process. I feel, right?
I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely
As far as mixing and mastering goes for you, yeah, kinda. You
I
get it
guess.
done a lot faster and it's much crisper and stuff now.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
see what you
saying?
mean.
there's a lot more shit to work with too, because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for instance, on this mixtape, The Neighborhood Rain, I feel like Allie did a decent amount of producing on it
Right,
as well.
exactly. That's another thing. We made upgrades like I got an MPC, you got an MPC, we
Yeah.
got midis, we got packs, we purchased samples.
I've yet
That's
to,
what I mean by like it was a little bit more mainstreamed.
I've yet to get have any of the songs. I've never fully produced any beats. I only help with if Allie wants my input on them. Sometimes he'll be like, hey, fuck around with
He's
this.
the best one to have an ear with.
I'm always just right next to him. And he's like, fuck around with this. Here's the MIDI.
Yeah, I'm like I gotta go take a shit or something. I gotta go eat.
He's like, here's the MIDI controller. He's like, fuck around, and then he comes back. He's like, dude, he's like, it's fire. But
He's
we
like,
get to-
I
we get
don't
to
really
use-
know like if this is right, but I'm like, yeah, it's not right because you didn't click overdub, dude. You got to click overdub, and now you got to put it down again,
Yeah,
so it gets on there. Now it's right.
yeah, still learning that. But Allie's gotten great at it too. But
I wouldn't say I'm great at it. I'm pretty decent. I don't know everything. I just, like I said before, I really only know how to make records that I can rap on.
yeah,
Or that I know that like someone could spaz on, or like the feel that I'm going for at that time.
hell yeah.
But then after Neighborhood's Finest, you had put out what song?
I think the first one after Neighborhood's Finest was Right Now.
Right.
And then I think that wasn't until January. I put out My Mind Is Made. After that, It's All in My Head.
Right.
After that one, I did What Do You Say?
I fucking love What Do You Say?
And those first three were more like indie rock based.
Yeah.
And then the last single I put out recently, well, not recently now, but like the last one I put out though, it was called "Nothing Good Happens After 2 a.m."
Yeah, that
which was
the,
like a,
that was in the middle of the
dope
mixtape,
concept.
right?
Yeah, that was in the middle of making the mixtape, and yeah, it was the title I liked because it was like a reference to How I Met Your Mother is like one of my favorite shows.
Hell yeah.
And like that was like there was an episode where like Ted Mosby talks about his mom's like one rule, one of her rules, nothing good happens.
It's a
after 2
constant
a.m.
theme throughout the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great show, and anybody who fucking slanders it, I will come at you.
Listen, bro,
because
it's no
I'm
Friends,
always.
but yeah, it's
Dude,
good.
no.
I love it.
No, Friends sucks. Jennifer
Oh, what?
Aniston's hot. That's it.
I don't know if you know this worm,
What
but
about your boy?
How I
What
Met
about your
Your
boy
Mother-
Matthew Perry? He's fucking saying how he's so upset that Keanu Reeves. What the fuck? I can't say his name.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is alive. Dude, you see all that shit this past week?
No,
Dude,
I didn't-
Matthew Perry put out a book.
We're
and-
not slandering Matthew Perry.
Dude, Matthew Perry's a cocksucker.
I have to educate myself, and then maybe we can slander Matthew Perry. But for right now, I will not have
That
it.
guy is a dick because
He is a dick. He is a dick. He's missing fingers.
which like I so like the whole
He is.
I know.
So the
Missing like his ring finger, and you could see it on Friends.
The quote-
I was like,
the quote or something was that like it was from his book. He supposedly put out a book, and that he went to Jennifer Aniston's dressing room and punched a hole in the wall.
Keanu?
Because no, Matthew Perry.
oh,
Because Chris Farley died, and Keanu Reeves still walks among us. So I get it. Yeah, everyone was upset when Chris Farley died. But why do you hate Keanu Reeves that much that you're that upset that he's alive? Like, why are you that much of a dick?
It's like
I don't
God.
think that
bring
anyone
back-
hates Keanu.
Yeah, except for Matthew Perry. He hates his guts.
It's like God. Bring back
wants him
Chris.
dead.
We'll give you Keanu.
Supposedly he did it with another
fucked
person
up.
that died too. He was like, he hates Keanu Reeves. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, I
but
don't know the beef.
That is
That
fucked
was
up.
bad
I
funny
mean,
that
if
you
that
happened
was
to
a
bring up
trade,
friends.
I'd trade. But I wouldn't go out of my way to trade Keanu. He's a good dude.
Keanu's a good dude, bro. He like has a puppy foundation and stuff. Keanu's a good dude. Good dude.
So that's what you put out before Neighborhood Rain. Now, what I put out, because Worm had put out some music too, but what I had put out was I put out right after Neighborhood's Finest.
Well, you guys missed your
in-
singles, your collaborative singles as well. Come to collect and
Oh,
let
that's
you know
true.
about
That's
that.
true. Well, I'll get into that next because that came after the first couple singles I did. The first single I did after Neighborhood Rain Neighborhood's Finest came out in September of last year.
Yes, because I was going to a festival. I
Right.
just know when the festival
So
was.
I think October-ish, I had just gotten the MPC and I was just getting my feet wet with producing. And Mickey came into the studio and I was playing him some beats. And he was telling me, like, right after, like, while we were doing Neighborhood's Finest, Mickey was stressing me to put out singles and, like, make up singles. He was like, you need singles, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, yeah, no, word, I'm with you. I definitely do. But nothing really was clicking for me. So I made this one beat, and I just learned how to sample on the MPC. I was just fucking around, and I put a Tony Montana sample in the beginning. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Come on. Last time you want to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. And Mickey was like, dude, you got to use this. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
So,
that was dope.
so I was like, all right. He was like, call it bad guy. I was like, yes, I will call it bad guy. So then I started fucking just going off on a tangent. And
I actually when you made that beat, that was before I was coming back around to rapping, but like obviously
Right.
we're boys, so like we were chilling still. Of
course.
And I came over when you were in the studio one day, and like so I was chilling with you, and I remember I told you this months later when I started rapping with you. I'm like, yo, I totally wrote this like while like for you. Like I know it would be me saying it because I know you.
forgot all about that.
And I forgot what it was like.
We're going to use that.
Yeah, we can't give it up. Actually, I won't
can't
say
give
it.
it
I
up.
won't say
No,
that.
can't
But I
give it
did
up.
write this little thing for you, and I was like, yeah, I totally was like gonna suggest like this, but then I was like, totally just never said anything because I was still like not confident
Right,
enough in my
right.
abilities.
Yeah, no, it ended up being sick. I would have definitely used it.
And
But
it
I
was-
am happy with how the record came out.
Oh, the record's so sick.
Thank you, Worm.
And now, like you said, I could just be like on one of your tracks saying that in like some
Yeah,
sort of way.
yeah. We'll figure that out. But like I appreciate you saying that. A lot of people. I'm not even trying to like say that, but a lot of people, a lot of my friends too, have hit me up and been like, "Yo, you have some of the craziest flow switches on Bad Guy, like ever."
Yeah, you did it for me in person. It was fucking insane.
Yeah, I did it live at a show too. But
I don't know how you have the breath for that at a live show, at least.
yeah, practice makes perfect, kid.
Nah, I know, but
If I could know all the words to Rap God, I'm working on the words to Godzilla. I just haven't had enough time. But
Does
if I could learn all the words to Rap God, I could do anything.
does Eminem ever do that song live? I mean,
Yeah,
when was
a
the last
lot.
time he has been live? I don't know.
He-
the
he-
Super Bowl.
he-
He did the Super Bowl last year. One of my fucking
Well, that
things.
too, and he tours a lot. He tours a lot.
We should check out one of his shows.
Yeah,
Gotta
and
see
then
him.
back to the collective singles that we had put out is The Neighborhood. Me and Mickey put out what? We put out Come to Collect during like the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Come to Collect is one of my favorite records.
That beat is insane.
Well,
Yeah.
the funny part about that beat
Samples,
is that Mickey comes over one day, right? And he's got a big smile on his face. And I've been saying to him, like, dig into the crates. Like, find a good record for us to sample. Find a good record for us to sample. And Mickey comes in, big smile on his face. He's like, I got a sample idea. I'm like, all right, what? He's like, Pennies to Heaven. I'm like, fucking Pennies to Heaven? I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about, dude? He's like, just hear me out. Just roll with me. And then before you know it, he's got all the horns, and I'm like, all right, word. I like the horns. And then he just starts, dun, 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 and I was like, oh my God. And then he added some fucking crazy chords to it. I think I did like maybe the hi-hats and the snare on it. That's really all I did, maybe.
I think you put in the piano, or like did some-
part of the piano, maybe.
I think he did.
You
part
you
of it.
tidied it up because I'm not I don't fancy myself that good.
That
And
shit was
it's so
dope.
crisp. So I gotta assume that maybe I just made the rhythm and you had finished it off and made it good. Because that's what you do. You're making things up.
I think that's
Making
what
it up.
happened. I think that's what happened.
And then the next track, I ended up producing myself.
about
You
that?
liked it.
What you know about that?
What you know about that, right? And we were freestyling. And we just came up with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said it. You were like, "What you know about that?" And I was like, "What you know about that?"
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
freestyle, and Allie was trying to get me to freestyle, so I was just saying a bunch of random shit.
I was like, "Just interject.
What you know about that?"
Just interject."
And
Yeah,
then-
that's like a very fun track. I feel like.
That's how I come up with a lot of like stuff. Honestly, like me and Worm too, like freestyling and then being like, "All right," like bopping, like a couple other
This the
songs.
sound like we discussed last week.
Yep.
Was because of a freestyle.
Yep.
631 versus the world was because of a freestyle.
Yeah. Ideas come from a lot of different places. It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Hell yeah.
And then after Come to Collect and What You Know About That, I dropped Happy, which is like
did
a
ours,
really...
did the when I was back, did like Never Lost and Smooth come out before Happy?
No, they came out after, I
Okay.
think. Or, no, maybe you're right. We dropped Never
because I think
Lost.
Happy
That's right.
It came out in like May.
Yes, you're right. We dropped Never Lost as a group. Worm came back.
So-
We dropped Never Lost, which is a dope record.
Yeah, so Never Lost was an idea I made, like the hook idea I made before I stopped rapping again.
Right.
But it sounded different. Like I didn't do it the way I was doing it, and like on the
I think
track
there were a couple
itself,
different words too for the hook.
Yeah, I think it was very slightly different, the hook, but
Yeah.
it was mostly like the delivery in which I said it is what we were like, there we go. Now it's finally clicking, because it was never fully clicking the same. Like it wasn't ever working properly, but it was right there. But then once I changed the delivery of it, we were like, all right, we got our track.
Right. And I always thought that was a good fucking idea. That was like when you came back, I was like, you know what we really got to do is we got to do Never Lost and a couple of the other records that we had made ideas for, but we never got into fruition. Like Get
Yeah.
the Bag is one of those. And that's
Yep.
on the Neighborhood Rain mixtape.
Can I just say something about Never Lost real quick, like where I got the idea from?
Of course.
So at the time in like 2017, that's when like Lonzo Ball, like you know who that is, right, Mickey?
Yeah.
Or, like LaMelo Ball, like their dad LeVar Ball was like all over TV, all over like ESPN, going like, "We never lost. Our son's never lost." And like I loved LaMelo Ball.
Right, I remember
And
that. That's why you got. Don't you have your hair cut the same way as LaMelo Ball?
I mean, I did at the time.
Right.
Now I just kind of like the way my hair looks this way,
I
so I'm
feel
like,
you.
all right, yeah, I like it. But yes, when I first did it, I was like, oh shit, LaMelo Ball's the man, because we're like the same age, and this kid is like famous as shit at like 15, because he's dropped in 92 in a high school game.
It's fucking insane.
And but it was really Jake Wandel who used to go, even before I was called Young Worm, he would just always be like, Young Worm never lost. all the time to me.
Shout out Fat Wandel. That's my boy.
Yeah, Wandel's the best. Fucking,
He's the
used
man.
To, he used to always go, Young Worm never lost, just to me all the time. So that's what made me think of Never Lost.
Fucking
as a
love
song.
Wandel. He's the man.
But yeah, then we did Smooth. Smooth was there too.
Right.
Smooth was fun.
Smooth is fucking sick. Our music video for Smooth was very fun.
I think I dropped Happy in the middle of Smooth and Never Lost. And Happy was actually kind of a dope record for me because it was really like jazzy. Like I was just really getting into like horns and shit and experimenting with like jazz samples.
And it was kind of like something you never done before too, I feel like.
Yeah, because it was slower.
It was much
You're
different
right.
from the rest of your tracks.
Yeah.
Not that the rest of your tracks sound the same at all. They all sound dope and
no,
different.
I know what you mean. But like
Yeah.
I'm usually rapping at a faster pace
Yep.
and like there are more punchlines. I was just kind of like happy about it. I was having
Yeah.
fun. Sway.
It was different.
It was different. I enjoy the record. I like listening to the record. And then
You had your other
Smooth,
track.
Never Lost. No,
Your other single.
we had, but between
Showing
that,
Off?
Showing Off. Right.
Oh, shit.
Just showing off. I love that song. I think it's one of my favorite songs.
I love the
still.
cover art. I love this sample. That's me grabbing the bull by the horns.
Got the
a metaphor.
dynamite, Mike. Yeah, we blowing up.
I like the ending one. You gave me the idea with it for that. It was the ending sample. Skynet went live? Can you please stop mentioning Skynet? You're the one that said Judgment Day.
Well, you had said, well, because I don't think that I had shown you, like, that part of the verse, because I was actually finishing the verse while you and Worm were recording it.
Oh.
So, I just remember I was like, this is missing something, and I had put that Skynet, I'm John Connor, here to make sure these tin bots rot. And you were like, Skynet went live? I was like, you should sample that. And you were like, I should.
Oh, that song is dope. I love that song. It's one of my favorites.
And then after that, I dropped, after that, Worm dropped first.
The One.
The One,
I'm
which
the
is a sick
one.
fucking track.
I'm the one. I wrote that while these kids were shitting and pissing and throwing up in their pants.
Because you gave us the flu, you cocksucker. Fuck you.
Yeah, it sucked. I literally did it because I barely got sick.
That's what he said.
I had like a little like cold.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And I did like happen to have a little bit of a stomach thing going on.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And I just didn't think it was anything crazy. And I like hung out with not only them, like my other friends as well.
Yeah, that's
they
what he
all end up getting sick. Definitely a mass spreader.
Yeah, you poisoned us all.
And then I was mad bored because I'm like, damn, literally everyone I'm friends with is sick
Thank
because
God
of me.
this fucking kid didn't get the vid, right? Jesus fucking Christ almighty.
I know. Then I was trying to make my single at the time, but I didn't have any equipment at the time. I didn't have
Right,
an
you didn't
MPC.
have, that's why
I
you
didn't have a
ended up getting
computer.
the MPC, actually. Yeah,
That's
I
why
remember
the main reason I got the MPC because I had to make that whole song on my phone.
Yeah, to send you the
It was a
beat.
10-second snippet
Of the audio
beat,
file.
and I just had to keep every time it would
That
end. It doesn't
sucks.
automatically play. I'd have to go put back.
Yeah.
and play.
Since I got my MPC back, but
Sat
since
right here.
that, Mickey had sent me a couple beats, and like I can't loop them. Now I can loop them, so it's different. I'm gonna
Yeah.
start writing those songs, but like, I would try and do it, and I have.
You get so tight.
get so tight.
Yeah, I was getting
'Cause
so tight
especially-
after a while. I'm like, because I'd be in a flow. You're in a rhythm.
Yeah, you're in a
and
rhythm.
Then it just stops. You're like,
Exactly.
what the fuck?
And you know how it is for me. Like I gotta like I do it like literally a syllable at a second.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't fit the format, it's fucked up. And like while I'm trying to make it work, it just cuts out. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I put it on replay. And you put it on replay, it's still on replay. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, Siri, you whore? You bitch. And then I put out Mad Love after that,
Yeah.
which is actually one of my favorite records. I got the idea from Batman the Animated Series, actually. There's an episode, the last episode actually ever of the show is titled Mad Love, and it's really Harley Quinn's origin story of how she like falls in love with the Joker and etc. And it's been like tweaked in like the Suicide Squad shit movie and whatnot.
Crazy bitch needs some crazy dick.
Yeah, for real. For real. And like, you know, it's similar to some experience I've had, so I was like, I could make this work.
Yeah.
And it just came in my mind, and like I made the beat like a long time ago, and I was like, that's like a love song type beat. But Mad Love's not really a love song.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
really.
It's really not.
But then that leads into the Neighborhood Rain
It's
itself.
just a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that like at that time, like after because we had made those records before we had done. Like a lot of the times we make records and we stack them up basically, and then we figure out, all right, we'll put this one out now, we'll do this now, and then after the third record we did, Showing Off, fucking brain fart, sorry guys. After Showing Off, we were like, all right, we have what 6 tracks for Neighborhood Rain, we have 7 tracks for Neighborhood Rain. How many tracks are we gonna do?
Shit, hold on.
Fuck, guys got a wedgie.
Kids got a wedgie right now. But yeah,
Stop
so
wearing diapers, Micken.
we were like almost halfway there, and we were still thinking of other single ideas in the meantime. But then once we were like, yo, this, because originally we were like 15, 16 songs. This ended up being 21 total.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of like, not that we were like, fuck singles, but we like had a single idea and it just like wasn't hitting as hard as like the
Well-
mixtape songs were. So we were just like, let's put all of our focus and energy into this mixtape and we'll get it done.
Right. And I mean, like, you guys were like 15, 16 songs is pretty good. I was like, I don't know, we should do like 20.
Yeah, well,
Like, the whole time I was pushing for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it ended up just
I
happening
mean,
that way.
like 21.
Yeah, because Mickey was like, you know what, we'll do 19. And I was like, why don't we just do 20? And then you could do the outro, 21. It's like blackjack. And he was like, I guess, Yoda. That's what Mickey usually says to me, fucking little cocksucker. I guess, Yoda. It always comes out dope, though.
Since we talk about
That's how what's it called? Classic started. We're
Yeah,
like, we
yeah.
need one more idea. We'll just try to do an idea.
Mickey was going through my MPC. He found some beat that I made.
Yeah.
I actually made it
get
for
a
my
lot
mom,
of-
that beat. But we'll get into that during the episode.
yeah, I got a lot of good feedback on Classic too. The 3 songs I hear the most good feedback on are Just Begun, Light That Shit, Spark That Shit, and Classic.
Now
Everyone's-
that you brought it up, let's get into that shit.
Well, do you want to shoot the shit first? Shoot the shit.
Do you want to
shoot the
shoot?
shit?
Should we shoot the shit after we talk about?
Yeah, we should shoot the shit to
spark that
close
shit?
it out.
We can always switch it up.
All right, yeah, sure. Let's fucking talk about Light That
Yeah.
Shit, Spark That Shit. I'm like, light that shit, spark that shit.
So we talked about it like a little before. This was from a beat that I made like junior year of high school, I think. And
I remember you
Yeah,
coming
it's-
over with a bunch of beats,
Blueface,
and you
baby.
put them on
Aye.
you put them on my computer,
uh-huh.
and we had like other ideas that we had accomplished, and then one day you just came in, and I don't know if you came up with it in the car or something. I don't really remember. You was like, I got something for the Blueface beat.
Yeah, I think it was like the night before. I was like listening to it, and I'm like, wait a second.
Spark that shit.
I was like, this sounds fucking dope.
Light, spark that shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I literally walked in and I was like, I have something, and I want to know what you guys think.
And
I
that's
knew right then and there it was gonna be the bop of the one you want to play at the club type of song.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
light
yeah.
that shit, spark that shit.
I love
I'm like,
it.
light that shit, spark that shit. I'm like, roll it, light it, spark that. Hold on,
Oh, yeah, we're gonna
let's
play
the
it for
clip,
them.
let's
Yeah,
play
yeah, let's play the clip.
Yeah,
we're not doing it justice, half-assing it.
Yeah.
Right now.
You gotta hear this marvelous shit.
Yeah, hold on.
But not to stir up anything, I know Blueface is Allie's favorite rapper. But I'm not trying to stir up
my
anything.
favorite, dude. Top.
I'm not trying to get
10.
Allie to like go talk a bunch of shit right now, but I totally might be. But I know,
Dude, I just said top 10. He's top 10. I love Blueface. His flow is unmatched.
you know, he's like always on beat and stuff.
He's in my top 10 rappers that are worst of all time. The top 10 worst
All right,
rappers
all right.
of all time.
All right, hold on. I
Give a
got it.
fuck
I got
what
it
shit
up.
I
I got
start.
it up. I got it
Oh,
up.
no,
Beats his girlfriend. What's he gonna do to me?
No, that was the whole point. I purposely was trying to stir the pot, but
Yeah, I know you were. Fuck
Blueface
Blueface.
is like 6'8", bro.
Yeah?
Nah, I might be exaggerating,
He's
but
pretty
he's
He
tall.
looks like
he looks tall.
He looks like
really
one of the
tall.
veggie monsters. So I don't really give a
I
fuck.
actually saw him in concert.
All right,
Not just him though, little baby.
all right. Well, shut the fuck up about Blueface.
Let's go! Roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it. You know what I'm saying?
Sample from the Method.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I'm like, light that shit, spark that shit. I'm like, light that shit, spark that shit. I'm like, roll it, light it, spark that shit. I'm like, roll it, light it, spark that shit. I'm like, light that shit, spark that shit. I'm like, light that shit, spark that shit. I'm like, roll it, light it, spark that shit. I'm like, roll it, light it, spark that shit.
Yeah, so that was the first couple of seconds of Light That Shit.
Okay.
That was the
shit.
hook.
Yeah, that was the hook. And it was one of the few where I didn't have a verse. I really just did like the hook and then YouTube.
Right. Well, you produced the record too.
Yeah.
You mix and master everything. You do a lot of work yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
you-
was like,
you were cool with just doing the hook on that one. I mean, you could have did a verse, but I don't think you wanted to, right?
That was one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
final-ish tracks I think that we did too, right?
Yeah, I think towards the end,
Right.
to like
Maybe,
last 5. What about what are your guys some of your guys' favorite lines? I mean, obviously the hook is the hook. That's just undeniable. It's
Some of my
fucking
favorite things. Well, first of all, I love the opening sample. Let's go.
dope. Yeah,
roll that shit, like that shit. I like
Yeah.
just
I was listening to
goes together like that.
Yeah, it's perfect. You did a perfect job.
I was listening
As
to
per usual.
what song is that on? Is that on Method Man?
No, that's on. That's like at the end of.
Can it all be so simple?
Simple, yes. Because
Yes.
they're talking. Is that like in
It's
an
on like
interview?
the extended version.
We already had the Let's Go sample, but I happened to just be listening to 36 Chambers that day, and I was like, wait, dude, what? I heard him say it. I was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You're not using this sample. I'm like, we gotta use this for Light That Shit, Spark That Shit. 'Cause
Absolutely.
we love the Wu-Tang Clan and Method. We gotta throw them some homage.
Homage.
Oh yeah.
But I know, like, one of my favorite lines is when I say, so against weed we burn it every time, and I got that from Grandmaster Kaz in what's the documentary we're always watching?
Art of Rap.
The Art of Rap.
Shout out Ice-T.
It's not. He didn't rap it. He just was smoking. He was rolling a blunt.
Yeah.
He was mid rolling a blunt. He's like, I hate weed so much, I burn it every time.
I'm so against weed.
I'm so
I burn it every
he's like,
time.
I'm so against weed, I just burn that shit every
Oh
time.
my God.
I thought it was
That's
dope that you
That's
incorporated
clever.
that.
That's
You have a lot
clever.
of good lines on that one. Like your flow is very on point.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it was the first couple lines that Worm drops that are my favorite. It's like my words hit like blunts choked. I'm like,
Blunt
Blunt
toast
chokes the mic.
yeah.
Provoke the youth to get high.
So again, sweet, I burn it every time. We just like to get high.
Lee motivated on the mic.
Yeah. So you kind of just went off in the first couple.
Yeah, I wanted to do a little beat switch, like a little flow switch
Yeah.
with the beat.
I like when you go supersonic, but that's just because that's what I like about like when people go supersonic.
When I start going fast.
Yeah. I don't. You got to fill in the blanks for me. I'm sorry. I can't.
We
like,
just
recall
like to
the-
get high.
No,
We
it's,
motivated on the mic, stay rhyming tight with my Dutch ball higher than a kite. I flow coast, brag, and boast while feeling like I got an extra chromosome from the weed we took.
Rubber ducky with the pad and the pen.
Like Batman, bring vengeance to bad men.
No,
I
when you
ain't
go
there for
token the
madness.
finest hash and.
To buy the biggest bag of marijuana, man.
Yeah,
Listen
that's
to
it.
the
That's
jam
it.
of legends, no stepping, we wreck them
Yeah,
with
that's the part, that's the
perfection.
part.
No contest, just simply fucking with the best.
Yeah. Fun record to record. It was
And we love talking about smoking weed.
definitely one of my favorites off the
It's such a
mixtape.
feel good song.
My dad was breaking my balls a couple of weeks before that, and he was saying that all of our songs are about weed, and everything that I do is about weed. And I was like, A, no.
Like only 25%.
B, no. Yeah, exactly. Like I could fucking leave a line about weed or like make something clever about weed, but like
Yeah.
the antithesis
The
of
weed
the song.
isn't the central idea.
No, it's not the central topic. And he was like saying it, so I was like, you know what? I enlighten minds. Scientists say lightning can't at the same place twice, but it often strikes my hands, pen, mouth, and a mic.
Yo, yeah, that I love the way Ali starts too.
I was like,
In
fuck
that,
that
order,
shit.
or much more than twice.
Oh,
So
Fuck
what
you,
the fuck
science
you
nerds
gotta say about that? Like, for God's sakes, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that song's fucking sick.
Yeah, that is one of our best tracks, definitely collectively.
It really is just like it's so well together. I remember.
It's not my favorite. I'll reveal the favorite of mine when we get to it.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I think I already said my favorite was track 3, Neighborhood Rain on episode
Right.
3. But it's definitely like the song that like people could be looking at their phone and you just happen to throw this song on quickly without like saying, "Hey, I'm putting on this song." And they're like they look up, they're like, "What song is this?"
Right.
As soon as I did that when I just had like the wave file of it before we put it out, I happened to be in my car. We were on like I was with some of my friends. We were on the way to get like some drinks somewhere, and I didn't tell them I was playing a song from our mixtape that's
Right.
gonna eventually be on it. And like on the car itself, it just said Blueface because that was the name of the wave file.
yeah.
And they heard the beat first. They were like, "Damn, what is this beat?" And then they're like, you hear the light that shit, and they're like, "Dude, is this fucking Blueface?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Not at all." And then I'm like, "Keep listening." I'm like, "Keep listening." And they're like, "Oh my god." He's like, "This is you guys?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "This is us. This is the fucking heat we're bringing on this mixtape."
Hell yeah.
Like, you can't fuck with this.
I remember when we performed at your house for your birthday, and
That wasn't for my birthday. It was just for us.
Oh yeah. It was like wasn't it during your birthday?
No.
No.
Perform?
It
When we
was much. It
performed?
was
That was
much
in
earlier.
August.
Yeah.
Oh what?
Fucking guy's born in September, dog.
I visited Meech and Jared for my birthday.
Oh shit. Oh, why am I getting that fucking mixed up? Anyway,
Ugly here, ugly
I
there
remember-
with Mitch.
Yeah,
That's really what it is.
I remember
was the
like
ugly concert.
before
He was
we.
here.
I remember before we went on for that. I remember like a couple of kids coming up to me, and they were like,
Never
are you playing Like That Shit, Spark That Shit? And I'm like,
really?
yeah, fucking course. And so yeah, that's definitely one that.
That's all they gave a shit about. They actually didn't give a shit that we were gonna play anything else. They were like, just do it over and over. I was like,
I remember Man Kids were saying to do Never Lost too. They're like, yo, you guys gonna do Never Lost? I was
Yeah.
like, we weren't planning on it because we wanted to do our new music, but I was like, we could.
Yeah,
but then
I was
the
about
cops
to
came.
load up. Yeah, I was about to load up Never Lost, and then the cops came.
The cops came and then I spit Allie was like, fuck the police. And I just came around on the stage and I was like, fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
yeah,
And
that's what I said. And then you started going
obviously-
crazy off of it.
I obviously didn't say the words that I'm not allowed to say for anyone wondering when I did the verse. I'm just putting that out there so you don't think I'm a
A
piece
young
of shit.
man got it bad because I'm brown.
Yeah.
But I did that, so I did some of it, and then I just started going off of the song, but with the same
Right.
cadence, and I was just fucking roasting my neighbor across the street because he's a dick sucker.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
That was really awesome.
yeah, that was fun.
Everybody got mad scared because we said fuck the police, and then they ran out of the back.
Yeah, they literally ran and left like a bunch of people. I was
Pussies.
like, you guys are
Bunch
fucking
of pussies.
soft. Like the cop was kind of
Freedom
cool,
of
honestly.
speech, dog. He didn't
Cop-
fucking break our balls at
No,
all.
no, he was just
Yeah,
like,
he didn't,
hey,
walk in
turn
or
it down.
anything.
Yeah,
Left.
He literally walked out of the car. He's like, no, I don't care. He's like, I don't care. Just turn it down. And literally walked right back to his car and left. I was like, all right.
I remember when everyone was silent and we could hear Worm. He was like, everyone's of age. He had to make sure.
Well, because I mean, if you're old, because I actually wasn't of age. I wasn't even 21 yet. I am now.
Yeah.
But they can't fucking. I mean, you can be.
I always forget how
you
old
can be
Worm
quieted
is.
by police, but if you are of age, that's why when you're because most people just have the thought process of being at a high school party when it's a backyard party still, and they're like, oh shit, the cops. It's like, what are you scared of the cops for? You're allowed to have a party if you're 21 years old. You just you're not illegally drinking anymore.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, yeah, we're good, even though I wasn't technically the person throwing the party. But yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah, I listen to That Shit, Spark That Shit a lot right after I roll a joint. Because Mickey, honestly, that's a lot of those songs that are so great to us, they're so great to us as a group, because that's our everyday dialogue. That's stuff that Mickey says.
Yeah,
Roll that, like that,
spark that shit.
spark that shit.
Roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. That's our everyday dialogue.
It really is. You always be smoking on that fine herb.
Yeah, that's why our records if they're not anything else, they are authentic to us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We
I
don't
said,
play pretend and shit.
I'd say all of it is very authentic to us. Every sample, that's just shit we watch over and over again or
Yeah.
listen to or.
Yeah, I forget what sample ends light that shit, spark that shit. I'm
Can't
kinda
think of it either
blanking on
because
that.
Tough is next. So it's like
Tough. Yeah. So
What is that from?
It's the future.
Oh
album
yeah,
one.
what's the matter? You scared?
Yeah, is that, yeah. And then that's what, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to shoot the shit about a couple of things,
Oh,
but
Shoot the shit.
I really wanted to.
shit.
I really wanted to go last. If you guys wanted to start it off,
I'll go first because we don't gotta shoot the shit long about mine. I didn't bring anything that crazy this week.
Okay.
I just wanted
What
to
do you
really,
got, Worm?
I really just wanted to shout out to Kangle. Shout out Kangle. It's a cool hat line. They got mad bucket hats. and
OG
stuff, too.
hip hop.
It's just an OG hip hop brand.
Fuck
LL
yeah.
Cool J kind of made it blow up to where it is now.
Hell
where
yeah.
It's fucking huge. My personal favorite person who I always see with a style of this hat on is Raekwon the Chef. He's
Fuck
cooking
yeah.
up that marvelous shit. I just
That's
wanted to shout out to Kango really and the history of hip hop with it.
You know what's cool to me is not the Kangol company maybe. I don't know. I'm not that educated on the history of Kangol. But there are pictures of my grandfather on his Harley, with a hat like that, with the same style. You know what I'm
this
saying?
was a very popular hat.
Yeah.
My dad wears one like this all the time.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a Kangol company hat,
yeah.
but I just like to see that style is still so relevant.
Classic. I think it's
you know what I
classic
mean.
still.
It's still classic.
And
It's still
one of the
relevant.
Original
Yeah, you can pull it
hat
off.
designs on. So Thomas Shelby, for instance, is always wearing
Fuck
a style
yeah.
hat like this.
That's what I'm
Peaky
saying.
Blinders.
It's been around for 100 years, but it's still a thing only because of hip hop. To be honest with you.
yeah, hip hop kept it alive for real.
Yep.
And old white men.
And old white men. That's right.
It's a combo of the two.
And the Peaky Blinders, because now everybody
Oh, yeah,
wears
now
it.
everyone loves it because of Peaky Blinders.
Yep.
But what about you, Mick? What are you shooting the shit about today? You got anything good?
Well, this week I like watched like a little like video essay on Rick Rubin,
Ooh.
and oh my
You're
was on
basically
Joe
his
Rogan
messiah.
recently. He was on
You
Joe
look
Rogan
like something
recently.
that fell off of Rick Rubin. Like a growth.
I see that could be a step up for me. Hold on, that might be something.
That is fucking funny.
I get some talent off that.
He's very talented, dude.
What, were you watching the
Yeah.
Joe Rogan interview? or-
I was watching that,
I didn't.
but
I didn't
I was
watch
watching
it.
this like guy talk about Rick Rubin and like his upbringing and like his career from like when he first started and like till now and like the modern era of music. And dude, it's just crazy. I didn't even realize how many people that he's worked with.
I was just
There's
gonna
so
say
many
that.
It's
people.
ridiculous.
It's insane. I don't like fully know the full backstory of it because I just had my boss explaining Rick Rubin's words to
Everybody
me. So it was
from
like a
LL
third
to
source.
Kendrick, dude. Like, it's crazy.
It was like a third source, but he was saying that he's even like worked on like a lot of comedy movies that we love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did a comedy album from Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Some crazy shit.
He's on another
And like he
level.
wasn't even like when he first started making records, it wasn't even like didn't see it as like a career. Like he was going to NYU for like he was studying psychology and he was going to go to law school. Like
Very
that's what his
smart
parents
dude.
wanted him to do.
I feel like you've always said that Rick Rubin was one of your biggest influences.
When I started making like take music seriously, yeah, he was definitely because he just works with he can work with fucking anyone. And then
You really opened my eyes to him and a lot of different producers because before like I actually started making records myself, aside from songwriting, I didn't know shit about producing or producers.
Yeah.
Like I knew like Preem.
I knew some
Dre.
producers.
That's it.
Like the famous ones like Dre and
Yeah,
I mean I know
yeah.
like, I know Drake's producer 40 and like there's a couple other ones, but yeah, I think like making music really opens you up to like, oh, you kind of want to hear about these people.
Yeah, you
because these
kind of
are
want to see
people
what
behind-
everyone's doing almost.
behind the screens of it all, behind the words.
yeah,
And I remember you telling me about Rick Rubin, and I'm like, Beastie Boys? LL? Like, you're telling me that he's a part of these tracks? You're like, he made them. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
He's the
yeah.
man.
He was like the DJ. He
fucking
was
blown
the
away.
Beastie Boys DJ.
Right.
And like he founded Def Jam Records
Right.
in his dorm room of NYU. He put out his first song that he put out a song with Grandmaster. I think it was I could be blank. I could be wrong on the name. Grandmaster J. I could be
Grandmaster J or Jam Master J?
Jam Master J, I believe. And
It was before Jam Master J found Run DMC.
I want to say before, but it could be
Like, 'cause he really
direct-
put that all together. Like, him and Russell put that together.
maybe, but anyway, they did their first song with his brother, T-Lo Rock, and it was from that record. He meets Russell Simmons, and then they have a partnership, and they basically do a bunch of They made it LL Cool J, Run DMC,
Right.
and then
Beastie.
they got a deal with Columbia that was like a shitload of money. It was like a 7-figure deal. And
Back then, that's a fucking ton of money.
yeah. And then eventually by like I think it was like the 90s he left Def Jam after it like became like this huge cuz like the Beastie Boys came out and it was the first rap record to be I think it was like the top Billboard. If I believe correctly, it was the first
That
rap
is,
record.
you're right.
Yeah.
It was the first hip hop record to go #1.
So that put Def Jam on a fucking
Whole nother level.
whole nother level. So it was just
The success of those records, I remember him saying something. The success of those records ended up funding a lot of later projects, like still.
dude, it's just crazy because like it was after that he leaves Def Jam and then starts working with like heavy metal acts. Like he
Yeah,
worked with
yeah.
Fucking
I remember you said he
Slayer.
worked with Johnny Cash too. Like he's so talented
yeah.
that he could work with just like how you do. Like I said,
literally,
like you like something that fell off of Rick Rubin. Like as if
He brought back Johnny Cash.
you can do all those things.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
not Rick Rubin's like the way he did it. Like you have
Yeah.
your own spin on it, but you could do any genre is what I mean.
That's what
You're so versatile musically.
Should I get on the mic and start screaming so you could fuck around and mix that up?
No, but he like thing is with him, like he doesn't really like think in terms of like music. It's just like he's like a spiritual kind of guy.
Right,
He's, like,
right.
fucking-
Yeah.
I
He's really
noticed-
big into like meditating and shit.
Supposedly, my like I said, my boss was just telling me about the Rick Rubin podcast with Joe Rogan, and supposedly fucking he brought up like professional wrestling, like the WWE and
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan's like obviously a very big MMA guy and
Yeah.
like real fighting. I mean, no disrespect to the WWE people because they
Well, it's, like,
do-
staged,
they
right,
actually, It's
WWE?
staged like it's definitely it's staged, but like they are when they're
Doing
like,
their own
hitting the
stuff.
floor and
Yeah.
they actually are like it's painful. But supposedly Joe Rogan started fucking laughing in his face mad hard, and like Rick Rubin was so tight.
Rick Rubin was really mad.
Yeah, he was mad tight. He's like, what? He's like, why is it funny?
Why is it funny that I like WWE?
Just because like he was telling about all this like crazy shit about his life, and Joe Rogan's like, wow, it's so fascinating. Then I know he brings up the WWE, and then he just started laughing in his face.
Oh
If
my
I was
god.
Rick Rubin, I would have headbutted him. Fuck you, Rogan.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
whatever I want to like. Oh, headbutt him.
Yeah, it's just he's insane. I aspire to be a guy.
Hell
like
yeah.
Rick Rubin.
You will be someday, pal. Trust me. You will be.
I mean, like I said, you felt your growth that fell off of him.
I really believe that. I really
No,
truly
for real
believe
though.
that.
Yeah, no,
I for real think that you totally look like something that fell off.
he's like, no. I'm not
Rick
talking-
might see this someday and he's gonna be like,
Son,
he might be my kid. This could be
So
possible.
you look at the hair; they got the same hair.
Got the same hair, same beard. His is just longer. But
he actually like has a beard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Like mine's like an excuse for a beard.
well, I'm sure at fucking
Mine's like diet
21
beard.
his beard was different too, man.
Could be.
But check this out. I got a couple of things I want to shoot the shit on.
Shoot him.
First thing I want to shoot the shit on.
That's how my dog's fucking
The-
barking, and it's pissing me off.
Danny DeVito commercial for
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's
You mean
is
Connor
one of my
Mitchell?
new favorite things to watch ever. I hate commercials. Anytime it comes on, I'm thrilled to see DD.
You mean the
Yeah,
Connor,
it is nice to see a guy like that.
And I have to pull out my phone.
You mean the
because-
Connor Mitchell commercial?
So check this out, guys.
Mitchell.
I want the year is ending now, right? We
Yeah.
talked about like all the music that we have. We have a couple of things that are going to come out by the end of the year that we still promise for you guys. But
Yeah, I got
As far
a
as-
single coming out soon, probably.
as far as like geographically we are concerned, most of the music that's been out is already out. There's not going to be a lot of music to be released in the next couple of months, right?
Yeah.
So we're basically in November. So I wanted to talk about albums of the year. And by that, I mean contenders for albums of the year, in my opinion. I think they're all great. I'd like to see them all win awards. If they could all win an award for album of the year, I'd personally love that, but I don't believe that to be possible. So I just wanted to get into that. This is in no order whatsoever. I'm going to throw in from a bird's eye view, Corday.
Solid take.
It's Almost Dry, Pusha T. This sick fuck. Pusha T like wrote and recorded it while watching Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, but on mute.
He did like a Mac Miller thing.
Oh,
We
yeah,
watched-
he's
we
fucking
watched
crazy.
The movie with the sound off.
Yeah, and I was like, it's almost dry. And like, you know, it was fucking dope, dude. It's very well produced. I'm pretty sure half of it's Kanye and half of it is Pharrell.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Lyrically and musically. While We're Here, Marlon Craft, big shout out on this fucking album. I fucking listen to it almost on a daily basis.
He's a fucking underrated.
He doesn't get his flowers enough, dude.
Yeah, Marlon Craft's
He's
the
a
man.
very underrated rapper. It's
He's-
sad to say.
he'll be huge in the next 5-6 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
posted on Instagram earlier actually that
He's got a
he
fan
got
base.
2 million
He's
monthly
pretty-
listeners now.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
pretty
is-
he's pretty famous, but he's just like
He's
I
just
feel like
getting
he
there.
doesn't get his respect enough. No one throws him in the conversation.
Yes.
And While We're Here was fucking dope. I fucking love the singles that he released for it. I love the album from top to bottom. This next one is my personal favorite. West Side Boogie, More Black Superheroes. My personal fucking favorite. Best produced, has a little bit of everything for hip hop. Has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Slow, fast, different flows. He's incredible. The Forever Story by Jid. Jid, I don't know if you guys know, is fucking on another level, cadence wise. Recently released in the last couple weeks was 5 and a Fuck You by Grip, which definitely has to go on there. 2000, Joey Badass. Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper. Big Steppers, sorry. Come Home, the Kids Need You, I wanted to throw in there, by Jack Harlow. Because it got a lot of fucking hate, and
did.
it
I
was
don't know
lyrically very... I was pleased with it, and you guys know I'm a big critic when it comes to lyrics.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like a more popular artist, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And for me, he deserves his popularity, and more people should aspire to fucking push the pen like him, Corday, and Marlon do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Jid.
Yeah, I feel like
As far
he
as,
got
like-
a lot of flack for
You mean
that album
GID?
for some
Are you
reason.
saying when you mean JID, you mean GID?
Yeah, you call him Jid, though. He calls himself Jid, too.
Oh.
You mean JID? Yes, I mean JID.
I'm like, what? I'm like, who the fuck is JID? And then I put 2 and 2 together.
Yes, I mean JID.
And then number 10, probably the one that I think is going to get the least critical acclaim, Neighborhood Rain by the Neighborhood Vibes.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Because we're biased.
That's
We're
top
bi-
10. That's top 10.
That shit, if people heard that shit, they would fucking understand.
Yeah.
We're trying to get it out
Lyrically,
there. So how
like-
about you fucking share it? All right? How about you fucking
Yeah,
tell
and
the
what
people?
the fuck is this? You guys, I see people watching it. You guys do 200 views. Nobody reposts it. Nobody fucking throw in a like.
Come on,
What the
throw-
fuck?
Throw a like, throw a
about
comment.
fucking subscribe?
Fucking repost it.
Come on.
I fucking support all of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, we support you guys.
Come on now.
Come
All
on now.
This is a little quick tangent. I want to get off on.
Like, subscribe. We also don't tell them.
Yeah,
we
guess
should really
prob-
start doing that.
Probably should start doing
Start doing that.
that. Still,
Like and
we
subscribe
could be,
while
we could be better, but you guys should be better.
You should
too.
be better supporters.
So while they like and subscribe, do you want to smoke weed about it?
I'm trying to smoke some weed about
Before we smoke weed about it, I just wanted to say,
it. 2012.
no, that Danny DeVito says in the Jersey Mike's video, they cut the meat right in front of you, and I couldn't be more satisfied about anything. Let's smoke weed about it.
Let's smoke some fucking weed
Let's
about
smoke
it.
some weed about it.
Peace out, guys. This was episode 5. We'll see you next week at episode 6.
Which is tough.
Yeah, tough.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite tracks.
See ya.
Yep. Peace.